It's okay. You can laugh. No one will be mad at you.
I'll be mad at myself.
You should get over it.
No. I should go to therapy.
You should go to therapy.
I don't have any funny therapy jokes.
Hi, podcast besties.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fabulous.
I love when we say, like, how are you? Like, we don't already know.
We're talking to you, the people listening to this podcast.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us. How are you feeling?
We'll wait.
Anyway.
It's a silence for me. Welcome to episode... Oh, no. This is a bonus episode.
Yes.
Welcome to our bonus episode.
Yes.
That will hopefully be a bonus episode this time and not a snow day episode.
Yeah. So basically the point of the bonus episodes is we're trying to give people more content because apparently people enjoy this podcast, which is like obvi, but
Honestly,
like also very shocking. Yeah. We just screamed to the mic. Yeah. But anyway. So people want bonus content. So we're going to be dropping these sporadically. You'll get it when you get it.
Ideally, these aren't supposed to take spot of
episodes.
An episode. It's supposed to be like, oh, here's episode 20, but also here's a bonus that we release like midweek. Just
yeah.
Surprise. We'll get there. That's our
goal,
intent with this one. So whenever you listen to it, hey, in the future.
Hey, future podcast besties.
Oh my God, Phil the Future, great show.
You're right. I was like, do I know that show? Yeah, it's just like a fever dream.
He was one of the reasons I found out I was gay. Because Phil was just fine.
He wasn't, but okay.
Anyways, besides all that,
yeah.
Welcome to the bonus episode. Today we are going to talk about 2-sentence horror stories.
And this week, bonus episode, Paul did all the prep for it.
Yeah, so if it sucks, sorry.
Congratulations. Shout out to Paul for doing the work. He's amazing. We love you.
It's funny because instead of doing my own notes, I was just like, I'm going to do the bonus episode.
I know, yeah. He was like, yeah, what should we do for the bonus episode? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, we should do 2-sentence stories. And I was like, cool. He's like, I'm going to do it right now. I was like, got it.
Because I feel like I just kept seeing them on my TikTok. Brianna was seeing them on her TikTok. And then I see them sporadically on Reddit. And I'm like, it would just be... Because the last bonus episode was the Reddit conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, 2 seconds. We'll just keep the Reddit theme going, I guess, for the bonus episodes for now. And 2-sentence horror stories just seemed like a great thing to go for.
2 second.
I mean, they basically will be like 2 seconds. But
yeah, if we don't fuck up the reading of it.
No promises.
True.
No. Similar to the last bonus episode we did, if you haven't listened, you should go listen now. We'll wait for you. How was it? Welcome back.
What about that one about the rocks, huh?
Fuck that one. So, yeah, just like that one, we're going to go back and forth. So, Brianna's going to start today.
No, you're going to start.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm going to start today. I'll read the first one, give cred because we give cred where cred is due, and then we'll talk about them. And then if you're listening on Spotify, make sure down below this episode that you respond to the Q&A because it's not going to be a Q&A. It's just going to be, what do you think? You know, which one's your favorite? Give some thoughts on ones you've heard and kind of what you want to talk about in terms of any of them. And we'll speak about it in maybe a future bonus episode.
Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't make me uncomfortable. Last time I saw a 2-sentence horror thing on a TikTok, it ruined my week.
Yeah, some of the I will just kind of say now, a lot of these are pretty dark, and there is a trigger warning that some of these do talk about suicide, so if that's kind of not your jam, be on the lookout. Maybe skip this bonus. Yeah. Because these are really all over the place.
Take care of yourself. Don't just listen just because you don't want to feel left out.
Yeah,
you have
this is a bonus. We don't care about the bonuses. Well, we do, but
yeah, whatever.
This isn't the main episode. So if you want to skip it, you can skip it. That's okay. We'll let you.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's jump right into the goodness of the stories.
The floor is yours, my dear.
Thanks. The first one is from user damned-scoundrel. It starts, they said when you look at Medusa, you transform into stone. What they never said is that you remain conscious, able to feel everything that happens to your now slowly eroding body.
As someone who loves mythology, that to me just like hits like on another level of like, fuck.
Yeah, I never, because obviously you see these sort of things where like people get frozen or they get turned into stone with Medusa. I never once sat and thought, be like, for some reason I always just thought I was going to die. And obviously when you die, you don't feel anything, you don't see anything, whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case. You're just frozen in time. Your body just can't move, essentially. Just think of it as like full body paralysis in a sense. Like you can think, you can feel everything, but you can't do anything.
No.
And that is horrific to me.
Ain't it, Chief? No, thank you.
Yeah, no thank you. And this one was actually, I remember when I was making these notes, there were a couple where I looked at Breana and I was like, oh my God, and this was one of them. Because I was like, I never fucking thought about that, and it's crazy. So even just to read it again, and I forgot about it because I did these notes a while ago.
Yeah, like
which
3
is
weeks
surprising
ago.
for me.
Proud of you.
Now I'm reading again, and I'm just like, all over again.
Okay. Next one is from user from_strange_seeds. Does that mean that their parents are weird? I think that's what that's supposed to mean.
I would say so.
This begins as, I framed the first letter I got as a police officer from a woman thanking me after I'd supported her through her daughter's suicide. I passed it in my hallway every day for nearly 8 years before realizing the handwriting was the same as the girl's suicide note. Wait. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?
Dude. I don't know if you could like see the look on my face, but as I was like realizing what I was reading, I was like,
I did. I think this was one I had to go over twice. I was like, I don't get it. And I was like, oh, the mom committed the murder. Is that not where you were?
No, yeah, I know it. That isn't.
Oh,
I have
what did you think
nothing to
happened
say.
then?
I just have nothing to say.
Oh, yeah. It's, imagine though. It's just like, damn, yeah, you helped this family go through everything. You were the police officer on site. You're just like, I got you, like whatever you need. And then you just like, years later, you're just like, wait a minute, that actually looks like the handwriting on the girl's note. That's
insane. I don't have anything to say. That's nothing.
So for our next one, it comes from user Bookseer, Seer, by the way. Ear. It starts with, now be careful, that line of rock salt is the only thing keeping them out, the man said, welcoming my group into his refuge. Sea salt, I clarified. Sea salt keeps us out.
I want a book, and I want that to be the plot of the book. Because that, amazing. From either perspective.
I would throw up. If I was just like, yeah, make a circle of salt, because we're going to keep the spirits out. And then the person I'm telling this to is just like, you got the wrong salt, babe. And then, this salt keeps us out. And I'd be like, oh, you're right. And I'd be like, what did you say? Like,
I need some kind of media. I need a movie, I need a book, I need a TV show, I need something that matches this vibe. I'm about to write myself. I was just gonna say.
It's giving Hocus Pocus, because they make like the circle of salt in Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
So just imagine one of the witches being like, wrong salt, babe.
That is,
and then you're just like, good idea. And you're like, wait a minute.
That is such a climactic point. Like, just imagine, like, visualize in your head seeing that in a movie, and it's like, yeah, the salt's gonna keep them out, be careful. And as they step over, and it's just like, sea salt.
But how I envision it is, you get the background of the person, and then they start having these things happen, and then someone comes to the door, and like, it's just like, oh hey, like, I'm the new neighbor. And then they become friends and hit it off, and they're friends for a while. And then the stuff starts happening all throughout while the friend is there. And then suddenly they're like, oh my God, I found this way. Like, we're going to make a circle of salt. They can't get us. And then the friend is just like, sea salt keeps us out, not this salt. And then you're just like, you're right. And you're just like, wait a fucking minute. What did you say? Keeps who out?
You went into like the backstory, the drama of it. I'm just like, plot twist, bam.
Yeah, well, that would be the plot twist, because you would just think this person was the neighbor, like a new friend that they made because they were the
not
neighbor
true,
that just moved in.
Oh, never mind. I thought you were saying, like, from my point of view, I was like, not true, because I don't talk to my neighbors, so I'm very suspicious by nature.
That's how I would write the movie.
The next one The user was a deleted account, so we can't give credit to it. But it starts as this. My husband has been very upset with me since my failed suicide attempt. He's crying nonstop and he won't acknowledge me.
That gives me chills.
That literally gave me chills. As soon as I started making the noise, I got like chills down my neck. That's
so sad.
I don't have anything to say.
No,
She was too stunned to speak.
she was a ghostie.
These are really good. You did a really good job. These are really good.
See, I was doing some of them and I was like, are these lame? But now that we're saying them in real time, I'm not just saying them in my head. Like, I didn't get chills when I read that the first time, but now I'm just
Like hearing it in someone's
whoa.
voice, you're like, oh.
Yeah, you're like, that's pretty
Yeah.
yikes. Because then I put myself in the situation and now I'm just like, I won't cry. Like, so the next one is from user Try and Try Again 123. What a weird name. It starts with, I was born blind, but was lucky enough to have a loving mother who took care of my every need. Imagine the betrayal I felt when a stitch slipped and a ray of light hit my eye for the first time.
Dude. It's giving Coraline.
That also gives, I can't think of the
What's
name,
the
but
movie?
the mom that kept the daughter in the wheelchair.
Yep.
Like that movie.
Oh,
Not the movie,
Act?
but like the actual, like that's an actual thing that.
yeah,
just
but
can't
like,
think
are you
of
talking
the
about the act, like the show, The Act, or the movie, The Act, with Joey King?
That, and then there's also
Another one.
Run by Sarah Paulson.
Oh,
That's one that
you were just talking about that movie the other
watched
day.
very recently.
Yeah.
It was very good, but that it's the kind of same idea where she was wheelchair bound, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, even though it's an old movie, I'm gonna ruin it for you. So maybe skip a little bit ahead. But yeah, she's in the wheelchair and she finds out her mom's essentially just been like feeding her tranquilizers to paralyze her from the waist down, so she could control her.
That is insane. That is so crazy.
So it's giving that. Honestly, I'd catch a murder charge.
Which I feel like the one with Joey King, she did catch a murder charge.
And Run, she did. No, she didn't.
I can't even like think of the name that from like the one that Joey King is in. Blanchard, I know is the last name, but I can't think of the
What did
first
you
name.
say?
I think it was Joey King. That's the actress.
You say Jodie King?
Is it Joey King? Not me not knowing her name. I think it's Joey King.
Oh. Yeah, The Act.
Yeah,
Correct.
what's their names? I know the last name is Blanchard, but I don't know her actual name.
Gypsy Blanchard and Dee Dee Blanchard.
That's what it is, Gypsy.
Oh, so this is the
That's based on a true story, though.
actually like the true story one. Oh, okay. I'll have to watch that. I haven't seen it yet.
Maybe we'll cover it one day.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is from user Mr. Robot 2302. As I slit her throat, I looked into her unblinking eyes and realized too late that she wanted to live. I knew it to be true because mirrors don't lie.
It's the for me because you read ahead.
I did read it. I do that often when I read books. Like as soon as I turn the page, I immediately just like scan. I'm like trying to like go back to reading. I don't know why
Instead
I do
of
it.
just doing it normally and let it naturally come.
Yeah,
through.
I don't know. I'll literally be in the middle of reading something and then my eyes will skip to the other page. I'm like, stop. It's like, put them back. I don't know why. That made my stomach hurt.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. The next one is from user Tetsuya. We're going to go with that. Please take me instead, I scream, grabbing at the two men who took my child. Sorry, ma'am. Children only, they said, as they continue loading up the last lifeboat on the ship.
It's giving Titanic.
It's giving...
Wait, whoa. Wait, whoa. I blacked out during that. I thought... She's saying, don't save my kid. She's saying, save me.
She's saying, take me, don't take my children, yes. She's saying, take me on the lifeboat, let my children stay on this.
My mouth is agape. My mouth is agape. Whoa, wait. I thought that was going for like, oh, they're going to like a murder scenario or something. That's what I was expecting. And then when you brought up lifeboat, I was like, oh, she wants them, you know. But I was like, wait, whoa.
No, she's saying, don't take my children, take me. As in... Save me, don't save my children.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the delayed when it clicked in. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun to experience. See, those are the type of reactions I want.
This is from user LYC.
Lycanthrope?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Paul said.
Lycanthrope?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is from user Lycanthrope.
Sure.
So it turns out you can feel everything that happens to your body after death. I suppose I should...
Can you just finish the fucking sentence and not read it? Can you just say it in real time, please?
It's so funny because I couldn't figure out how to pronounce the word flattered. That's why I read ahead to realize the context of it. So it turns out you can feel everything that happens to your body after death. I suppose I should be flattered. My husband still finds me attractive after all these years.
That's fucking disgusting.
Dude, my mind. These are fucking me. These are fucking killing me. Dude.
It's disgusting. This man said, my wife is dead. I'm going to keep her body and pleasure myself with it. That's gross.
My mouth is agape. Again, I have nothing to say.
She was too stunned.
I just rubbed my forehead way too hard. What
do you mean?
Yeah.
So this one is from user Italian Quagsire.
Ooh.
When the tsunamis hit, most people were evacuated. Feeling the trickle of water rise to my chin, I let go of the prison bars in bitter resentment.
Damn, that's true though. They definitely would just leave prisoners in there if something happened.
I don't think they'd actively try to evacuate all of them. So some of them.
That's really sad.
Especially in like a we didn't see this coming emergency. They're just gonna boop.
That's really sad.
It's not like they're gonna hit the button and say everyone flee for your life. They're just probably gonna be like, good luck.
That's really sad. That has to be a form of torture. Obviously not intentional torture, but
yeah, that one's really sad. When I wrote that one, I was like, oh. But at the same time, depends on what the crime you did.
True. This is from user Mint Clicker. For my last wish, I wish my dad to be alive again. I stand atop his grave and smiled, imagining him screaming and clawing at his coffin lid, as he did 2 previous times I wished him back. What?
So that one is more like less real and more of like, the genie's 3 wishes. And so essentially her dad died, or their dad died. They went to the grave, said, I wish my dad would come back, and then just let him suffer in the coffin.
Twice.
Until he died. And then wished for him to come back again, let him suffer again. Yeah. So that one is just fucked in the sense of they're just letting
they're just torturing. Yeah, they're just torturing him.
Yeah.
That's
essentially
crazy.
Just torturing after death.
That's crazy.
So that one took a little bit more mind power to
Yeah, no, I was like, wait,
is this good? And I was like, no, that's good.
That's really good. Yeah, once you realize it.
This one is from user a Brawl Stars player. Battery at 1%. I looked at the earth one last time before my suit ran out of power.
Ick. I have the ick.
That one makes me so uncomfortable.
Not even just because I don't understand science and math that well. I could never be an astronaut, but that's also why I would never be an astronaut. Because have you seen the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Let me tell you, that whole movie made me so uncomfortable.
Just anything space like that, and now my suit's going to die. I mean, granted, you're eventually going to suffocate, but just the fact of thinking of just floating through space.
And there's nothing there to save you.
Nothing there to save you. Nothing to grab onto. You're just going to float limitlessly until you get hit by like an asteroid or sucked into a black hole or something. Like that just makes me physically squirm and ill, and I hate it. I hate thinking about it.
Space is so fascinating, but it is so fucking scary.
I guess if I have a phobia, it's space.
As you should. That's ironic because this user's name is Earth, Mars, Uranus.
It's Uranus.
Uranus.
Okay.
It's been almost a decade since I last saw my mother. And she still reminds me every day that if I misbehave again, she'll take my hearing too.
Do you get it?
I'm shocked. This whole episode is just me being like completely silent because my mouth is just wide open. Flies are going in like agape.
That's so fucked. You act up, she takes your eyesight. She said, you act up again, you ain't gonna have your hearing.
Dude.
The next one is from user Some Call Me Nani. My grandmother died giving birth to my mother, who died giving birth to me. As I feel my unconsciousness slip away, I pray that my baby is a boy.
That's really sad.
That is really sad.
That's like a really big fear every time someone in my life is pregnant, is like them dying in childbirth, because it's very plausible.
Yeah, and this one's just, this family's cursed with dying at childbirth. And then she's just like, I'm going to die, but I hope it's a baby boy.
That's crazy.
That makes me sad. I want to cry.
You did this.
I know.
This is from user platinum_latium. Did I pronounce that correctly? Whatever.
Platinum.
Whatever. They say we have a primal sense that we can just feel when someone is watching us. It's been a few weeks, and it's clear that you do not have that sense.
That makes me uncomfortable.
That actually doesn't make me uncomfortable, because I do have that sense. That something is like off, or that I'm like all the time I'm on edge and anxious, and like I'm always aware of my surroundings, so this would never happen to me. But that sentence, as I was reading it, reminds me of the Slender Man. Like, that's the first thing that went to my mind.
That makes sense, yeah. That, I don't know, to me that just makes me uncomfortable, because I do have a strange, I mean, this can kind of go back to shutting your curtains at night, but I just have like a strange fear of like people just like watching me when I don't know. And so when I read this one, I was like, that makes me violently ill, because...
What is it called? Voyeurism, when you have sex in front of people? Could never be my kink, no.
What?
It's like voyeurism, I think it is, when people have sex in front of other people.
Oh, couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me either. Don't look at me. We all know that I hate being perceived.
This one was a personal one for me, where I was just like, oh, I hate it. I hate it, because who knows? There could be someone that's been watching me for weeks, and they're saying the same exact thing.
Joe Goldberg.
Yeah, it's the Joes of the world.
I like choked on that.
Yeah, you did. This next one is from user UND Flight. I forgot to grab something. I'll be right back, said Mom. As she rounded the corner, out of sight, the cashier began ringing up our groceries. This one I threw in as a palate cleanser.
Why is that quite literally?
But it's not horror in the sense of...
But it's horror.
Typical horror, but it's still horror. Because
it's so funny now being an adult and like working at places like being cashiers and like seeing that from the cashier's point of view, where you're just like, yeah, I'll just ring this up and then I'm just gonna wait for the mom to walk back. Like, there's nothing else. But as a child, you're like, what happens when they're done and my mom's not back? Like, then what? Because
I don't have the cash and I don't have a way to pay and I don't know what to do. I got those feelings so much, and I hated going. Maybe that's why I hate going to the grocery store now as an adult, because Andrew always tries to get me to go with him, and I'm just like, I hate going to the grocery store. Maybe that's why.
Maybe
because I feel like that would happen to me all the time. My mom would just be like, oh, I forgot this, and would run and get it as the cashier scanning. Like, I'd be like looking at the cashier, looking back to see my mom, and just like doing that whole back and forth the entire time. To be like, I don't know what to do.
My mom,
very horrifying.
My mom started just sending me to get the item. So she'd be like, oh, I forgot to go get bread. Will you go get bread? And I was like, yep, I will go grab it. Like, you stay right there. I'll go get it.
See, my mom, she was like, I know where it is. I'll be right back. And I'm like, no!
This one is from another deleted profile, so we cannot give credit. I was so devastated when I came home and found my wife in bed with another man that I left without saying a word. It wasn't until the day after, when I finally returned, that I noticed the lock on the back door was broken. No.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I get it. He walked into his wife being assaulted, thought that he was getting cheated on, so he just left in the middle of his wife getting assaulted.
Correct. He thought his wife was getting assaulted. Well, no, he thought his wife was just cheating on him,
yeah. But she was actually getting assaulted.
This person broke into the house to probably steal and saw her, assaulted her, probably killing her. And then it wasn't until the next day he saw the back door was broken. I was like, damn, so she wasn't fucking some dude. She was just getting...
That's such an interesting reaction, because like in the moment you think you'd like bust and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what? How could you just me? Blah, blah, blah. But like that is such a reaction to just be like, you know what?
Yeah,
goodbye.
You see it. Especially...
And then you have no context to what's going on.
Yeah. And I'm sure in something like that, there's probably some sort of ball gag or something in her mouth so she can't scream. So at this point, he just sees a man on top of her. And it's just like, you know, goes to say something, sees that, and says, damn, and then just like turns around and walks out and be like, I don't want to deal with this right now. Just to find out that she was probably getting murdered.
That... Too stunned to speak.
So with that, this user for the next one is I know crazy.
Oh my god.
Karazy. Jesus. It goes, I used to hate the sound of crickets outside the lonely farmhouse. Now every time they go silent, I know that thing is passing by, and I pray for them to chirp again.
It's a flesh runner.
Kind of reminds me of The Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. That's actually a really good movie.
That's a very good movie.
I haven't
love
seen
that
the second
movie.
one, and I want to.
I saw the second one, and it made me very sad.
Really? Mm-hmm. The first one was really good.
For me,
that's what that gives me. Because as soon as everything goes silent, you know that shit's around. And if you make any sort of noise, you're dead.
For me personally, The Quiet Place as a franchise, I think it's just because I already said that, like, if something apocalyptic like that happened, I would just kill myself. Like, I wouldn't hang around for it. Like, you know, I don't feel that's necessary.
Right.
But, like, obviously she has the baby in the first movie. And all I'm thinking about is just, like, it's crazy to me that, like, you got pregnant and kept it and you're bringing a baby into this world.
Like, good for you.
You literally can't even make a noise in. And that scene where she gives birth and, like, can't even make the sound, I was just like, dude, I couldn't imagine that. Mm-hmm. Could not.
Good for her. You know, another movie that's kind of wild, too, is Bird Box. Remember when that was a huge thing?
That was a really good movie. I know it was like a meme for a long time, but that was a really good movie.
I thought it was good.
I really wish that I guess the creative direction they went in with, like, not animating what the thing looked like was, like, very good because, like, you know, but I really wish that, like, we saw it at least. I wish we at least got it through one point of view to see what it actually looked like because it's just so.
I don't know. I prefer the mystery of it all because if it's one of those things where.
If it doesn't live up to your expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why they did.
Movie.
Yeah.
So I'd rather it just stay mystery and not
I think that's exactly why they did it like that because they didn't think they were going to have something to live up to the expectation of, like, what is so scary that these people are killing themselves.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Okay. So next is from user Minnie the Mermaid. The sound of my son calling for my help grew fainter and fainter. As the batteries in my hearing aids died, I realized it would soon be impossible for me to find him in time. It makes me really sad.
That's disgusting. I hate that.
Yeah. Because, like, it's not, like, the difference from, like, the stories, like, earlier in this episode where, like, it's like, oh, the mom sewed the eyes shut, the mom took the eyes, mom did this. This one, like, she's trying to find her son. And
I just picture she's out in the woods.
Exactly.
She has bad hearing, has her hearing aids out in the wood. Hears her child screaming out, "Mom, mom, mom, come find me." And then she hears, like, the beep boop, like 1% left. And suddenly she's not going to be able to hear anything from her child.
Oh my God. Makes my stomach hurt.
And it's like nighttime. And obviously you can't see like that. I'm just picturing I could see a movie of this too.
We have to move on. We have to go to the next one that makes my stomach hurt.
This one is from _Kimmy_. 911, what's your emergency? I asked and listened to the quiet sobs of a little kid on the end of the line. I think my daddy wants to kill me, the girl said and cried, making me freeze on the spot as I recognized my daughter's voice. Whoa.
That's like that movie with Halle Berry that came out a few years ago.
What?
Where she's like am I thinking of that movie where she's like a 911 operator and her kid gets kidnapped? Or am I mixing two movies?
Is it her kid who gets kidnapped?
I don't know. There's a movie where her kid gets kidnapped and there's also a movie when she's a 911 operator. I feel like they're the same movie, but I could be wrong.
I think I know the 911 operator movie, but I don't think it's her kid.
Then I probably am thinking of two different movies.
But damn,
regardless,
that's still fucked up to think about. You're not even necessarily this particular instance, but just imagining you being a 911 operator and you're hearing someone you know on the other line saying, someone's trying to kill me, or, you know, just something bad.
I could actually never be a 911 operator. I've come to the conclusion.
I couldn't either.
I could never do it.
I wouldn't.
You have to be so desensitized to situations, and then, like, the amount of times you probably hear things happening to other people on the phone, like...
Trauma.
Yeah, literally. I can't even fathom the words for it.
I wouldn't even think about doing it ever.
Okay. The next one is from user Kilroy137. I decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It would definitely spice up my autobiography a little. I think it's funny that I ended up reading that one, because obviously I read a fuck ton of books.
Yeah.
That's not funny. Let me just say that, but that's so funny. Like, I just decided to spice up my autobiography a little bit, so I turned into a serial killer.
And then well, if anything, it's just like, I'm curious in this instance, like, do you write the story first, and then you do the killings. That way you have...
I'm assuming that they're probably getting to a point and they're like, oh, my life is so boring. Oh, I'm going to go murder Sally. Comes back. Writes a murder about Sally.
See, what I would do... I would, if I was writing a book and I thought that was the thing, I would write the murders first. I would write the murders, I would finish the book, and I would write exactly how I did the murders, and then I would go out and do the murders the exact way I wrote them.
Well, no, because if you do them... Okay, so if you write them and then do them, and they're not exactly what you wrote, I feel like it's going to eat away at you, one. Because you're already crazy enough to kill somebody, so that means that you're probably really anal about stuff like that.
Well, I don't necessarily need to do it some intricate way.
I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general.
No, I know. But I'm just using me as a placeholder.
Yeah.
So, it's... Like, I could say, I'm going to slip them a sleeping pill and then just slice their throat. Yeah. Like, it could be something simple like that. It doesn't need to be anything
I feel like, though, if you're trying to add spice to your autobiography, you're going out with a bang. You're probably doing, like, very gruesome murders.
Yeah, but, I mean, the thing is, I feel like the story would have to be written first because it's not going to be long before you're caught, so you're not going to have any time to write that autobiography, especially because you're going to end up life in jail. So I want everything...
Well, for me,
ready,
when I read that, I was thinking...
Publisher ready.
I was thinking about, like, Joe. Like Joe Goldberg. Like
That's fair.
Joe Goldberg. Yeah. How he kills, 16 people? So, like, if he kills, say, like, when he killed, I'm trying to name somebody, Love, for example.
Okay.
So, if he just, like, wrote originally, because in the moment, like, what, he was, like, planning to stab her in that, at the end of that? So, like, if he was like, oh, I'm going to stab her, but then he ends up burning the house down, it's, like, it's inconsistent. And killers are kind of crazy like that, so they're going to want it to be exactly the same. So I feel like he's going to do it and then write about it.
Yeah. I guess my issue was I wasn't thinking of Joe Goldberg. I was just thinking
that's immediately
realistic.
who I pictured, especially because he'd be the fucking person to write a fucking autobiography about his life.
True. Can't wait for season 5, speaking of.
Oh my god.
It's going to be the last season.
He better get his comeuppance, and if he doesn't, I'm going to fucking riot.
I truly think they're going to kill him off. That's the only way to stop Joe Goldberg is to kill him off.
They need to do something. I saw that they were supposed to bring back Jenny Ortega. Who played Ellie, but she was busy filming Wednesday. I was like, dude, imagine.
Maybe this
what would have happened. Crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
This one is another user that deleted account, so I can't give the cred. Frowny face.
Frowny face?
That was the police telling me my brother, Tyler, was found dead in his apartment this morning. I told my boyfriend, my breath shaking with shock and grief. My boyfriend threw his arms around me in a loving embrace and angrily said, what kind of sick psycho would shoot a decent guy like Tyler?
Okay, so when you're reading yours, I'm like purposely not looking so I can like get the shock factor of it. And I knew immediately after you finished the first sentence what the second was going to be. I knew that's what it was going to be. I knew it. That's crazy. Could you imagine that?
And it's just like, who told you anything about a shooting?
What would you do? I would play it off. I'd be like, oh my God. And then I would be like, oh, I have to go. And then I would immediately be like, he did it! He did it!
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If that was the case, and be like, who would shoot a decent guy with Tyler? I'd be like, I don't know. I'm just so heartbroken. And just like cry in his arms and just play it up. And then just be like, I need some fresh air. And then take my keys and fucking book it. Yeah. And go to bed. It's my boyfriend! He did it!
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. All right, this next one is from user Caliank1184. Good girl. I murmured to my beloved dog as the first tears slid down my face. I didn't think her little teeth would hurt this bad, but it's been 3 days since I fell, and there's no need for us to both starve.
The look you're giving me.
My mouth, as soon as I finish that, my mouth is wide open. That is so fucking sad. The poor dog.
And just...
I
can't even picture it because it's just like... I'm imagining Rue just like eating me, which she never would, but it's just like... She's eating me and I'm just like, good girl. And then no.
I have nothing to say.
This one is from user BuddyTube. I screamed, ran out of my room, and yelled, Dad, I saw a huge spider. Can you come kill it? I hope the man standing in my closet didn't notice that I saw him or realize the fact that I was actually home alone. That gives me chills. That makes me sick.
That made my stomach hurt.
That makes my stomach...
Like, it immediately made my stomach hurt.
Like, good for them for being able to think like that on the spot.
Their feet, yeah.
And think on their feet like that, but like... chills.
My stomach hurts.
Can't
My stomach hurts so bad. Oh, this one is from user Panda Jedi. Do you see now there's nothing to be afraid of? Mom asked as she emerged from my closet. Yes, Mommy, I lied, noticing her mole was now on the left.
Again.
Flesh runner. Something. That situations like that give me obviously very much Uncanny Valley.
Oh, for sure.
Like, have you ever seen those like these stories where it's like, oh, I'm in my room and I hear my mom call my name and I walk out of the hallway and my mom is like shushing me, like mom's in front of my door shushing me as mom's downstairs calling me, and that means there's two of them. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That makes me so, I can't, because if I ever experience that, I don't know what I would do. I would probably jump out my window.
Uncanny Valley is such an interesting feeling because I don't know, for me, when I feel Uncanny Valley, I don't feel like a fight or flight. I just like freeze because it's like, holy shit. Because like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's literally, holy shit. That's it. That's all I can say.
That's all you can say. So for this last one, I thought you and I would both appreciate equally. So that's why I ended it off on it.
Okay.
This one is from another user that deleted the profile, so I can't give credit again.
Motherfuckers.
Another frowny face. I shined my flashlight over the cabinet of porcelain dolls. Their pupils contracted.
Ah! That literally gave me goosebumps. I hate that. So
I saw that and I was like, I have to end this episode on that one because we equally hate dolls as much. And that, I don't know what I would do with my life if I ever saw that.
I would kill myself. Right there. I would not give them a satisfaction of doing whatever. There's like a little twisted.
One way I'm not going out, it's by being killed by a doll.
If there's one way I'm gonna go out in many different scenarios, I'll kill myself. I refuse to give that thing the satisfaction. Refuse. You
just like see the Annabelle doll and it moves.
Take a knife. Done. Dunzo. Dunsky. Goodbye.
Before it can.
Good night.
But yeah, that.
Have a good time.
Bye. Have a beautiful time. But yeah, that's all we have for 2 sentence horror stories.
That was really good, Paul. That was really good.
Thank you.
You did a really good job. We're definitely going to have to do these again.
I spent a lot of time at work sifting through Reddit for ones that sounded really good. And didn't just do like one by one and get the first ones that came up, because I'd read them and I'd be like, oh, that doesn't... I did ones that like made me feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing because...
Yeah. Those are really good. I don't have anything to say besides those are really good.
And I was afraid because I was like, dude, some of these count, because when I saw like 2 sentence horror stories, I was thinking like scary, like ghosts, like whatever, and I was like, do these count? But I'm just like, no, like anything that gives you any sort of like
fear,
feeling, like,
is horror.
That counts, and every single one of these did that. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you at home or in your car, where the freak you're listening, you enjoyed it just as much.
Yeah, I hope you also cringe as much as I did. I hope your mouth is wide the fuck open like mine was.
Yeah. And again, in the Q&A below, if you listen on Spotify, I'm gonna have you just sound off thoughts, or if you have a 2-sentence horror story that you like and we didn't cover, put it in there. Because I kind of like these, so I kind of want to do another episode of these down on the line.
Yeah.
So if you have any that you really like, put it down there, or even email it to us, or social media it to us. However way you can contact us. Spotify, whatever. Let us know your favorites, because we're going to probably do another one of these as a bonus episode down the line.
That was crazy. I don't have anything else to say.
A fun little bonus episode for you. So, as always, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at isntthatoddpod, and most importantly, find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, really anywhere you get your podcasts.
Tinder, Grindr, Bumble, you know, the spiel.
Yeah. If you have any recommendations, something you're dying for us to hear or talk about, we have a Google Doc linked in our link tree that you can find in our Instagram or in our episode bio, where you can submit any true crime, conspiracy, paranormal stories that we haven't covered yet that you want us to highlight, and maybe you'll just hear it on a future episode.
Yeah. And then if you have any thoughts, comments, concerns, or stories, personal stories or anything, you can always email us to at isntthatoddpod@gmail.com.
Yeah. So that's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning into our little bonus episode here.
Yeah, hopefully this actually comes out as a bonus and not like something doesn't happen, we have to just like put it out. But regardless,
fingers crossed. We hope you really enjoyed the episode. We love putting this together for you. And if you want more, you can catch us every Tuesday, where we'll drop some new episodes so you can listen to us. And until then, we will catch you on the flip side. Don't be a douchebag.
Fuck you. No. Fuck you. Because I was literally just going to cut you off and be like, catch you on the flip side, homie. And then you said, you said it.
You're welcome. So yeah,
crazy.
as always, don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a dick. Be a menace
to society.
Yep. There you go.
And do good in the world.
Yeah. Be good. Everything's okay.
We love you. We support you. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
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 I want the last word. Bye.
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 Bye.